Hey guys, I thought we'd take a minute and I'm going to show you how to make a brake line using tools you can afford. Now most of these brake line tools are 20 to 50 bucks unless you want the real fancy one that's like $200. But I'm going to show you how to use one that's about 30 bucks. First thing you've got to do is actually cut the line to the length you need. So I'm using a little cutter here. This is a pipe cutter. Now some kits come with cutters, and I'll just make sure you're not using a conduit cutter because they look alike but they do two different style cuts. You want to make sure you're using a pipe cutter. So we're going to take it, slide the tubing in it. Now you need to make sure that your tubing is sitting in between the two rollers up here and your blade is actually snug on it. Then spin it a couple times, tighten it back up, spin it some more, tighten it back up, spin it some more. You're just steady putting tension on it so that wheel's cutting. Once it cuts through, it'll come off like that. Now the first thing you've got to know is the size tubing you're using. Most of them when you buy a new line has a sticker on it, but you can look at it and see. This is 3/16. Now your clamp has all different sizes in it. So we want to set this up in a 3/16. Okay? Now don't tighten this down yet. Okay, you've got it in here. You want to grab the die that matches the size tubing you're using. Now this is a 3/16 die. Now before you clamp it, you're going to use the die to set the depth of the tubing through the clamp. So if you look at the shoulder, there's a shoulder on the edge of the die. You want to make sure that shoulder, your tubing is the same distance as that shoulder. Now you're going to tighten up that clamp. You need to make sure it's tight because the teeth need to bite into the line to hold it while you press it. Quick tip, before you flare anything, make sure the fitting that you need on the end is actually on the line, or else you'll be doing this twice. You're going to take the die and put it inside the tubing. Take the clamp here and insert it so the point is actually in the die. Just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten this up. Once you've got it all the way down and the die's touching the clamp, go ahead and back it off. So you can see the first flare is done. Now we're going to take the clamp, put the point into that flare, and do the same thing and tighten it down. This is going to give it the double flare. Now just go ahead and back that off one more time. And there you go, you have your double flare. Now go ahead and loosen the clamp and get the line out. Now you're all done. You have that double flare. Your fitting will slide up nice and clean to it. It's ready to install. So guys, as you can see, it's not hard to flare a brake line. So there are cheaper versions of this tool that have broken in my hands before. Spend a little extra and at least get this. I'm not telling you to buy a $200 tool, but instead of spending 20, maybe spend 30 and get a little bit better one. So that's it guys. Hopefully it helps you. See you on the next one.